All right, so I'm just gonna get started. So everybody, I don't want to turn the camera around because there's some people here that don't want to be on camera. So the camera is going to be facing Maria Neto. Is that how you pronounce your last name? And of course, we are in the famous house at 18 Wicker Street, where so much mayhem occurred in the 70s. And honestly, I'm not even sure really what happened here, because I read it in Maury Terry's book that there was a shooting here, there was a fire bombing, but I want to know the whole story from you guys. So thank you so much for having us in your house, Maria. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And basically, just start with at the beginning. What happened with this whole Son of Sam, David Berkowitz, Carr family, whole thing?
Well. I want to speak English or Spanish?
Speak English, please. Maybe you can translate if you need to.
Well, if you need, but I'm going to say, what I'm going to say about Son of Sam, they make our life miserable. And then the first thing he doing is First, he called one day to my house and want to talk to my daughter. In those years, my daughter, I think he's 13 years old or something like that.
And that's
12, yes.
That's you.
My daughter. Then my husband answered the phone, and my husband told her, who called my daughter? She said, I don't have to talk to you. I want to talk to Sylvia, your daughter, my daughter, because I think they told us, Son of Sam, work in the post office the post office. This is why he know all the name of the people.
Ah.
And he lived right. We don't know in that time, but he lived right here in the hill in that building there.
Now, how long before his arrest did all this occur? What
2
date?
years.
Oh, 2 years.
2 years.
So this happened in 1975.
Yes.
2 years.
75, 76, and it was like, it was happening for 2 years, and every month or 2 months something would happen.
So it wasn't just one incident. Like, I thought it was just like 1 or 2 incidents randomly happening.
No.
But this was a campaign, you're saying, a terror campaign.
Right.
Yes.
Then he called, when that happened, my husband said, nobody can call my daughter without, we don't know. And he hung the phone.
And so it just started with a phone call, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that it started with us. With
A phone call
to Sylvia.
and then also the rock, they threw rock,
They
like
threw
a rock.
rock
We don't know if that was related, but there was like a rock thrown there in that room. And then every couple of months something would happen.
Then they sent a letter, and that time I was in a hospital, sick. Then they sent a letter my name, which they say they're gonna burn my house from the top to the floor, because in this building, in this house, is the devil, something on the top of my house, and and they say in our top of the house is the queen, and they want to kill
the queen. Now, question: did you have boarders living here? Were there people living here?
Yes, we have people.
No, not boarders. We had someone on the 3rd floor.
So there were people living
Renters.
renters. That's what I meant. Yes.
Yeah.
And who were they?
A friend of us, a family. My mother living a second here, and the other people is like a family of us living a 3rd floor.
So he says we want to kill the queen who lives on the 3rd floor, but you're having
in the attic.
in the attic.
In the attic.
But you're like, there's no queen here. Who is this? This is your family.
My family.
So it wasn't just a random apartment renter up there who you didn't really know. Maybe they had a secret life.
No. We have a good people here. It's like a family.
They're like
the
family
same
from the same
my husband
town.
all the time in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, it's all the time happened. The time passed, and we start hear about they kill the girls, right?
Right.
Where they found.
Ma, but that was sorry for
that
interjecting.
is before the fire.
The fire, I don't know. That's got to be in the newspapers when it happened. Like I know that once they started rampage in New York
The
City or
Son of
whatever.
Sam killings.
It wasn't happening. Things weren't happening as often. I didn't make a connection.
So in
No,
other words, so this
information.
terror campaign happened before the shooting started.
Yes.
I believe so. If you look at the dates,
The first shooting was July 29th, 1976.
Well, how old you were?
Not that means
yeah,
anything to you.
I was 12. By then I was
12?
12, 13. So maybe it was something like that. But there were various. So the story with the letter is that my aunt, knowing that my mother was sick, she burned it. She actually burned the
The
letter.
letter.
And I'm like,
They-
why did you burn the letter? Because we could show the
afraid
cops.
to show my and the cop. No, they are afraid to show my husband because he worried so much about me.
Right.
It's a big problem to see me sick like that, and then they don't want to show my husband, and they take somebody crazy, send the paper like that.
Right.
They send a letter like it. They're gonna do that. And
Burn
they
it.
burn. Then another letter come to, they're gonna burn from the top of the bottom. That's letter come.
Right.
And everything passed like that. Then one night he threw a Molotov, how you call it?
Molotov cocktail.
And my daughter sleep that night with my mother.
Upstairs,
In the second
second
window,
floor.
upstairs, to make a company to my mother.
Uh-huh.
Then where they send the cocktail Molotov, my house burned all in the front. And they don't hit the bed where they are because we
On a
have
screen.
the screen. And then this way they don't burn inside where she was.
Fell down and it exploded. In
Right.
the front, I can show you.
And they have to have
Definitely.
those records. I burned. And the guy upstairs, because we started screaming, I was almost without clothes, we was asleep.
Right.
At night.
Right.
Then the other guy coming and on the way running, everybody running. And the fireman told me, lady, you see the way you are? Go put in your clothes.
Ma, that's
I don't care, it's the truth.
That's okay. That's okay. We're all. It's 2021. People can handle it.
okay.
So.
I don't was without clothes. I was with a
okay.
fine, nice gown.
Right. Right. So. Do you remember the handwriting at all?
I didn't see the letter. I didn't know about this until after.
Okay. Oh, because
So-
you were a child, they kept the letter
Yes.
from you. So
I did not know that. I know about what happened physically to my house.
Right.
I remember the rock. I don't know if it was related, but it started a rock thrown. I remember the Molotov cocktail. I was watching Miss Universe or something at the time. And then the other incident, besides the phone calls, I don't know how many times he called.
They call a lot of times. And then the Christmas Eve, what happened?
What were before we get to that? I'm curious about these calls. Was it always the same voice?
It's the same voice. But he called here like a personal like that about 3 times. Then after that call disappear. It's to send the letters, and then the letter they send when they burn the house. Then the other time we have a party, Christmas party downstairs, where my brother-in-law is a cop. And then we was all eat downstairs, and then he come, my daughter was play the piano with the other girls there, and he with the gun, he killed our German Shepherd,
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve killing
My
your German Shepherd.
brother-in-law
Yes.
is a cop, and he right away take the gun and go out, and he see a man, big like him,
Big.
a white
Go down.
car down there in the other street waiting for him, and he go to the car and they running away.
So.
This is what I say.
Because it was very cold that night, so how could you would hear the car starting,
Right.
and we didn't hear.
All right. So I want to get this straight. You're having a party here. Shots
in the
come
basement, in the basement.
In the basement.
We let the dog you know,
the German
in
Shepherd,
front,
the
'cause we had a
German Shepherd
fence.
was in the front.
And then you have then the dog gets shot. You hear the shots. Your friend.
My daughter
heard the shots.
Heard the shot.
yeah, because she was playing the piano.
I was
here.
playing the piano. It sounded like a tire. Like,
Wow. And then your friend comes out with his gun.
well, we
My
started.
friend, no. My
I-
brother-in-law,
Your brother-in-law comes out with his gun.
he's a cop.
right, but
He's a cop.
He
But
was a
before
cop, he's
before that, when I heard that, we opened the door here,
Right.
and that's when I saw my dog, and I could show you on the staircase, and
Die.
He was dying. Oh God.
so I went down, and then I said, "Help! There's something, you know, something wrong with Rocket," and my uncle came running upstairs, and that's when. He
rolled
went
down.
He went down, and then
he
the
saw
car
them, the men.
basically took off.
But
There was
he saw someone run into the car.
To the
a-
car.
like, yes.
So that means two people were involved at
Yes.
the very
Little
least.
people. One driving.
I mean,
It's a
otherwise
white
I'd hear a
car.
car start, and there was no way it was so fast.
Right. Right.
Because
right.
when we got out right after we heard the noise, thinking that it was a car that had a flat tire, and that's when I saw my attention went to my dog, and then there was somebody running with short sleeves, and
on a winter night.
On a
short
winter
sleeve.
night.
It's December 24.
Was this person tall, short, fat? Do you remember any of these descriptions?
My brother.
no, he went running down, but I'm talking about the
The
person.
the person who
saw
shot.
the men to go to the car.
What did he
Yes.
say? What was their physical description? Do you remember?
I would like to think that it was heavy set, but I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't let anything now influence.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right,
Like
exactly.
now, I don't know.
But it wasn't long hair and blonde or anything like
We
that.
don't can see nothing.
It was dark.
It was dark, right? You couldn't see, but you're sure that this person got into a car and that car took off, and there had to
It
have
didn't
been.
start up. It
It
didn't, start up.
up.
And this was not very safe.
Right, you wouldn't leave a
neighborhood.
car here idling with nobody in it.
Right.
But the white car is interesting because Berkowitz did own a white Ford Galaxy. Was it a big car? Do you remember? I
Big
mean,
car, my brother told us.
what did he say?
It's a big car waiting down in the arch.
Warburton.
It's right in that corner. And he see the men running
Dickie's
from here, go to the
Lounge.
car.
This was a parking lot.
Uh huh.
Dickie's Lounge parking lot.
Right.
The bar was in the corner
Right.
of Warburton.
He
and
was
Wicker.
there. The other car was there and they're running. Somebody waiting for him.
Wow. So that means if our assumption is correct that if it was Berkowitz, and we don't know that it was for sure, but that means he was definitely involved with someone else. Wow, this is incredible stuff.
And the son of Sang, he called himself son of Sang or something.
Right.
The same car lived right there across the street here.
The same
Those two sons died.
Sam Carr's house
Sam
is.
Carr house.
Sam Carr's right.
Have you
Across
seen
the street.
his?
Yeah,
house?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What about his house?
He have two sons, right?
Right,
Where they say, this is what they say.
right.
Maybe they are involved in that. One killed himself, or something happened to those guys.
Right, and
After
one got
that.
into a car accident. Did you know the Carr family?
No, I don't know. I live here, but I know nothing.
You
I
didn't-
don't know them. No,
You didn't know them
nobody,
back
no.
then, so you didn't know any
No.
reputation, any history.
No.
You as a young girl didn't know Michael
No.
Carr
No,
or
I
any
don't
of
know
the.
nothing about them. Nothing,
at all.
nothing.
And they were kind of like, not their house is on Warburton Avenue, and here was another house.
And it was probably a lot of like with the woods in between
Yeah.
you guys
You can
back
see
then.
the house. I can show you the house.
Right, right,
See
It's
him
still there.
walking every so
The house is
often.
still there.
right. So the incidents were letter writing, shooting and Molotov cocktail,
Mm-hmm.
a potential rock being thrown in here,
On fire.
and
Well, that was the Molotov,
and the Molotov cocktail. And when did it end? How did it end? Well, like,
Well,
When they-
we're still missing one.
uh-oh, tell us.
Well,
When and again, the cops have to have this on record. Like, you have to check that it's on, because we call the cops every time.
We will be checking this for sure.
So the other incident was, my father was a hunter. Every hunting season, he was
this is another
religiously
case.
got up 4:30 in the morning. You know, whenever it was hunting season, got on his hunting clothes, and he always had the shotgun. and he would go rabbit hunting and deer hunting. So when this was happening, I was old enough already, but I knew that he kept his gun. Where did he keep the shotgun?
The shotgun is right on the top of that closet there.
Okay, so you know that better than I do, because I wasn't. So someone called the cops to tell them that Joaquin had gone crazy inside the house and killed everybody.
So Joaquin is your husband?
My husband.
Yes, Joaquin is my father.
7 or 5 people is dead here, they say.
So when my parents' bedroom is back there, and then and my bedroom was here, and they start knock the cops, like it was like somebody was bringing down the house.
Right.
Yeah.
Knowing my father and knowing what was going on in our house, he could have picked up that shotgun.
Right, and
they would have shot him and killed him right there. But he came out, and then he opened the door and he saw that it was the cops, and they were pointing here, like on the fence. The cops were pointing at us.
Oh my God.
And then he cheats and back of him on my father. But, don't go. And she gonna be in back of him.
Whoa.
Because we don't know who is.
They were setting you guys up to be shot by the police.
Right, they kill us. Then the police go open the door. Right away he see here all this. He don't pay permission. He open the other door. Go upstairs all the house. And then when they come back, I'm sorry, we don't know who they are.
Oh my God.
This is the way we live 2 years in this house.
Yep. It was like...
And you noticed, like, it got a lot less when...
not as often, because it seemed like a game or something. And then...
Did you notice it was heavy until you noticed the Son of Sam stuff going on, and then you didn't?
It was less. I mean, I wish I would have spoken to you guys many years, because things get foggy.
Of course.
But I do believe there was a lessening of the number of incidents. Like, we were like, okay, what's going to happen next? Like, what is going to happen next?
You know, excuse me, Sylvia, you know what we're doing to sleep? And God knows this is the truth. My brother-in-law from New Jersey come 2-3 days to looking in a window to see who is, to we can sleep.
Yeah.
The other time, come another one.
Right.
To be in the window, to see, to we can sleep.
But clearly you guys were not associating what was happening here in your house to Son of Sam.
Not at all.
Huh.
Right, right. Because how would you? Why would you?
My husband goes so many times to the cops and told him what happened.
Yonkers cops.
Oh yes. See all the time happen. Please, we can't live like that. We try to sell the house. We give it for half of the price.
Really?
Then, no, we don't give. They come to buy our house to get the house because we give it so cheap. We want to go. Then it's a man, no leg like that, the one gonna buy the house. He come, he look, he love the house. For the price, he gonna get it. But I think in myself when I see the man, I'm gonna tell the truth. Because we can run him, but this guy don't can run it. This guy knows it's the truth.
Right.
Then when I told the guy the story, I don't see him no more.
Yeah.
He missed out on a great deal though.
Yeah.
Half of the price.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa. I would have taken the chance.
Yeah, but I'm afraid to for him.
And not only that, we had also family here, like we have my grandmother and my cousin. It was.
But everybody want to go.
Yeah.
So what was your thinking? Like what you just were saying. Like what were you thinking about when
What
this
I'm
was
thinking
all
about
happening?
myself. I go every Sunday to the church. I know I cry myself. And I say, God, my husband is not ever involved in drug and nothing. He said, this man we try to make the life working towards us.
Right.
I don't know nothing. What happened, God? I told myself, I had to be a crazy person. Because this is not people to be involved in. They can see in our record.
Right.
We live here about 64 years, like that, right? Here we live.
No,
and they
no,
know
no.
here.
No, because
But in
Yonkers.
this country.
in Yonkers, yeah.
I now married 1958.
Wow. Okay.
Then I'm married all those years. All our life, they can find out. It's working.
Right. There's nothing in your past that
Nothing.
would.
No.
Then my husband go to the cop, and this is what I ask God, it's nothing I can think. Who can want to do that to us?
Right.
It's only what happened, cry, and then in the end, in my mind, had to be a crazy person.
So this whole time this is happening, then Son of Sam is occurring, and then the incidents become less and less, and then finally they just stop one day.
They stopped
happened one day?
definitely after they caught him. It never happened again.
Never after again. Right. Right. So, and how long
He
before?
lived there.
How long before Berkowitz was caught? Like, what was the? Do you maybe this is asking too much specifics, but he was arrested August 10th, 1977. What was the previous incident with you guys? Like, how far before that? How long before?
Honestly, like I don't.
You don't. Yeah, that's a long time.
I'd have to actually go, and I know she saved all this stuff. It's got to be somewhere with all the.
Oh, you
Jeez.
saved stuff? What did you save?
But I don't know right now. I can promise to you to look at
That's-
the papers.
recall.
on
I
paper.
understand. We got plenty of time, but
But they have to have this on record, right?
one would assume, although I heard that the Yonkers Police Department records got flooded and they lost everything before 1980.
Oh wow.
That's what I heard.
Amazed.
But we're gonna make some inquiries regardless. We're gonna.
They
we're gonna
had to,
find out.
all what we said to all of you had to be, even I be in the paper there, aside.
Yep.
So now Berkowitz gets arrested, and then what happens to you guys after that?
We happy because we don't, because after we found that, and then found out had to be something like that,
Uh-huh.
and maybe he said what he's the one do all those things.
Right.
Then we feel how we are living.
Right. You felt
Did-
relief
yeah.
because you thought that the guy was caught.
Right.
Well, Detective Zigo said
Right.
that Berkowitz, they believe that it was Berkowitz that was responsible for, what was going on here. I guess ours wasn't the only dog, but the cops never told us anything that there were other dogs being killed.
So Detective Zigo from NYPD came and visited you guys here.
Yes.
Okay. And I mean,
He said that I guess I don't know what discussion they had with Berkowitz that he was that the reason why he picked on us was I think my dog maybe have talked to him, and that my father Joaquin was tormenting him.
so it's a very similar situation to with what he was saying about the Carr family, that the dog was barking to him, and that the father Sam was an evil man who deserved to go to hell and all that kind of stuff. Did he ever write letters to here specifically about your dad, saying
No,
Joaquin?
not about my husband. He mentioned her and me.
But in the letter,
And the letter Joaquin is not in the letter.
Did he know you guys by name?
yes,
Yes, he know because he work in a post office.
he knew
I don't
definitely.
know. This is why he know all the everything.
Yeah.
So you guys think that it was, even though you have heard that Berkowitz was involved with other people, including the Carr family across the street, you're pretty much convinced that this was Berkowitz doing this?
Oh yeah. But I think had to be somebody with him.
With him.
I mean,
For the
why
reason
would
what we
they
see.
pick on us? Like next door,
They have a
were
dog too?
they have a dog, and nothing happened. Nothing.
He wrote
Was
on
it a
he wrote on the walls 22 Wicker,
But this is 18 Wicker.
But I'm saying he was referring to the place next door too
Right.
at times.
Did he ever do anything
No,
next? Did anything happen next
nothing.
door?
No.
This is why we're surprised why they do something like that to us. But he said the same thing in the yellow. They make it something there, you can read it what he said what he do that to us. He said because whatever he hear the voices told him to kill or whatever in this place.
It was our dog.
Our dog.
And just the fact, I wish we could find out the date of the first incident, because this is important, because he was writing letters to everybody around town from about May of 1977 on. And what Maury Terry, and I want to talk about Maury Terry in a minute, what Maury Terry speculated was that he was trying to set up an insanity defense by making himself seem crazy and sending letters to everybody out. But you're saying that this happened
Before.
May of 1977, that this
Yes.
was way before.
Yes.
To me, it sounds like somebody was fixated on you as a young girl. I mean, I don't want to get too graphic here, but remember John Wheaties, he loved his young girls. He was across the street. John Carr's nickname was Wheaties. And his reputation, not to get too graphic, was that he liked prepubescent girls. So maybe somehow they fixated on you. I don't know. I mean,
But the problem, my daughter, I take it to school, I bring it to school. She never so long get to be here and there.
That's
They
probably
never-
a good thing.
right, yeah. You definitely dodged a bullet in this neighborhood, but so they wouldn't have seen you playing outside alone or anything like
No,
that.
because my daughter is not the type. When we
Well,
are
we were outside. I mean, I would go
In the
outside.
back, outside.
Usually the backyard.
Usually the
Oh, yeah.
backyard, though. So it's not like they would have been seeing you all the time.
But I do sometimes. I've been in the porch there with my
Yeah,
cousin.
but remember, he lived right there in that building.
Yeah.
And the back
Huh?
I
aqueduct.
think you hit that.
yeah.
The aqueduct, he can be there and look it.
Yeah. You could see, well, Berkowitz, you could definitely see our house from his apartment, which
Right.
was at the top.
Yeah.
And if he were to have like a telescope
Yeah,
or something.
and the cars could also, because even though it was like a wooded area, like, you know,
Right.
you could,
Did you ever see that white car parked over there up on Wicker?
No,
On the side
I
street?
never.
You mean over at the car house?
Where we park.
Right. But even more, well, I guess you wouldn't have seen his car, the white car parked at the car house.
The problem, you don't put attention
No.
to those things.
Right, you don't think about it. You're not thinking about it. Exactly.
no, we couldn't understand, I mean, we were like, who could it be? Who could it be? Because my father is very passive,
Right.
very, community oriented. And I don't know, maybe that was because we're very, traditional, very strong. We have very strong family ties. We always have family coming in and out
Right.
all the time. The 24th of December, we always celebrated it downstairs. All our family, all my aunts and uncles and cousins would come over. And we were obviously loud.
Right.
So maybe that just bothered, I don't know.
I just think there's something significant here with you being 12 years old and you guys owning a German Shepherd. Because I don't know how much you know about what happened in Untermeyer Park and all the satanic rituals and all
Yeah,
that kind of
a lot
stuff
of
that was
things
going
there.
on. But German Shepherds in particular were targeted in this
Right.
neighborhood.
Well, but we got the German Shepherd because of what was happening.
Okay, so in other words, you weren't targeted because of the German Shepherd.
I mean, it came after.
It came
but-
after, right? Did you ever hear of dead dogs being found on the aqueduct?
No.
So you never
We
obviously-
found out after.
Right,
Like,
a lot of
this is
this you-
all after. I was like, well, why didn't they tell us?
I hear a lot of dogs
A lot of
screaming.
a lot of dogs.
From here in my
True,
bedroom.
howling dogs, and we're like,
Screaming.
why do you hear like
Doggies
howling
screaming all
dogs?
the time.
Huh.
And this was in the years prior to the arrest.
Yeah.
Yes,
You would hear dogs screaming on
They
the
screaming
aqueduct.
Howling.
like somebody do something
Howling.
to them.
yes, because the aqueduct. I mean, I'm sure it carries certain times with the wind.
I wouldn't be too sure. I mean, with all those woods there, I think it would be happening very close to you. And there supposedly was an area right back here where these guys would all hang out. That's very interesting. And several dogs were found buried right up here at the aqueduct, right in this spot.
You went to
And
the
this is why
cops.
we fear the animal screaming. Because so many times we hear those animals, the dog is screaming,
Howling.
like if somebody do something to them.
Right. So Maury Terry, not to change the subject so abruptly, do you have any other questions?
No, go ahead.
How does Maury Terry get involved with you guys?
He was the author from the book that came. He came I think he came more than once to ask questions about the incidents around here. So
Probably very similar questions to what we're asking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And do you remember him?
Something?
No, Maury Terry, the author.
No, I don't remember now. Maybe I see again.
Do you remember? Like,
I mean, I see pictures and now,
Right.
but I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know if it's just because this is what I
Well, I
see.
think Teresa gave him a report.
Teresa Menez.
96.
Now, who was Teresa?
She's my cousin. She lived upstairs.
She lived upstairs. Okay.
Yeah, she lived with my mother.
So she gave him she gave Maury a report.
Well, she was the one that was here with me when the dog, when the incident with the dog.
Ugh. What did you guys know anybody who lived in 22? Wicker?
Yeah, 22 is here.
22
Right.
is here.
Right.
Yeah,
And you knew
Today
people?
is my son-in-law house.
yeah, but it was
before,
Bernardi, the Bernardi
No.
family.
The
Yeah,
Bernardis.
Bernardi.
And did they have renters?
Yes, they are rented.
Because there's one person in particular that we're very curious about. His name was Alfonso Carroza. And supposedly he lived, I thought he lived at 18, but but it could very well be 22. And Carroza, and what does he say, Di Bernardi?
Bernardi.
Bernardi. Sounds like an Italian last
Yes.
name. I'm not saying that there's definitely a connection there, but an Italian would tend to rent to an Italian.
His good friend lived there, not him, but I could be wrong.
Right. Okay. But did you ever hear of Alfonso Carroza? Did you ever meet Alfonso Carroza?
Tiziano was the name of one of the boys. That
Luis el hijo Vittorio.
No. Teresa was friends with one of the girls.
With one of the girls who lived in 22.
Yes.
So we need to ask Teresa if she ever heard of Alfonso Carroza. The reason why is because this guy Alfonso Carroza, according to Maury Terry, was involved with this cast of characters as well. Berkowitz, Carr, the satanic groups at Untermeyer Park. And maybe he was somebody who was spying on you guys and seeing you guys, and we don't know, obviously. I mean, it just seems so strange to randomly pick some family that you don't know about to have a terror campaign.
I mean, when I saw him or what David Berkowitz looked like, I've never seen him in my life.
You've never seen him.
Huh.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
But even the Carr family, like, I wouldn't have known.
Right, so that doesn't really mean much that you didn't see Berkowitz before, because all of these things happened, you were a kid, it happened at night anyway, he was running away. Wow, so you said that...
And you went to the cops on all these problems?
Yes.
You went to New York
Absolutely.
City Police, or you
No.
went to Yonkers?
My husband go to Yonkers to
Yonkers.
Fernandez, I think it's the head of
Captain,
the
something for he's Portuguese.
What was his name?
Fernandez.
Fernandez.
Something Fernandez.
Tony?
I don't know.
We can find all that
He's
out.
Italian. He used to be Italian. He's in Portugal now.
Oh, and
I don't know. He died.
how many times did you go to the cops?
All the time.
Every time this happened.
My husband go there.
Were they open a case on you? Were they addressing you guys as much as when you were complaining?
No.
Ah,
No, so they really didn't pay attention too much.
don't put it too much.
It sounds exactly like when the Carr family was bringing their letters to the police.
But Yonkers handled this
It was Yonkers.
and never had anyone to come to you and say, "We
No.
think maybe this guy is it." No one was ever questioned.
When they catch him,
When they caught him, it was
Yeah.
Detective Ziegel.
That was New York City.
Right,
because
that's
I'm
it.
trying to say,
No.
if you're going to Yonkers with these complaints, I just want to know what they were doing. Did they ever come up
Nothing.
with nothing?
Because we would ask, like, this, can you help us? Because this is like,
Major. Yeah, what you guys
this
had
is
to do.
terrorism.
yeah.
Yeah.
And made even worse because you have no clue who's even doing it.
this is the whole problem.
Yeah.
We know.
I just can't imagine living like that.
No, I could never live like that. I mean, you guys wanted to move out and sell your place at half price.
No, it's only that when I come from the hospital, they told my husband, because Star, when I come from the hospital, she had to be in very relaxed place, very quiet, rest, whatever she can, because I was very sick.
Right.
And what happened, this is the
All the excitement,
first time.
Now,
for 2 years.
could we heard that there's still bullet holes.
Yes.
Would you mind showing us?
What?
Bullet holes.
Oh, yes.
Let's go see these bullet holes. Just the bullet holes. Now, Sylvia, just make sure that you're not seen. Don't worry.
Okay.
Now I have to blur out somebody over here. Let me just put this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to face this down, so it's hitting the floor. And do me a favor. stand behind me at all times, okay,
You see
so we don't
all
get you.
this trophy from my house right
Yeah.
now.
Bueno, eso no se, no, ma. Here, here.
No, I'll tell
He's
you.
gonna go first.
Well, me and your mom will go first.
Okay.
You guys stay behind because we don't want you on camera.
Okay.
So now we're seeing the bullet holes, the actual bullet holes from this.
My daughter's on the piano when that happened.
Yeah, this is where
Wait, you were playing the
I
piano
was
here.
playing the piano.
Oh, careful. I'm sorry.
That's where we heard,
So that's that room that we were just in with the piano was where you
Yeah.
heard the shots from.
right.
And then what happened? Someone came out here on the porch.
Yeah, I came out with my cousin and my dog was there.
See? The bullet.
These are the bullet holes.
Yeah. I don't know if that belongs to that.
No,
No,
it's just
no,
that
it's
one.
So just the one.
No, it's two, but I don't know what
But
happened
it's,
to
I
that
think
one.
they fixed this.
Yeah.
That looks fixed. Yeah, it looks like there was probably one here.
Yeah.
So the bullets went into here, and your dog just
My
was
dog
right behind there.
was
The
here.
dog was here. That,
He died here, Mom. Here.
there?
Hold on, let's stand back because so the dog was here and he died here. So in other words, they were shooting. Your dog was outside. They were
Yes.
shooting at the dog, and just some random bullet hit over here. And why'd you guys decide to keep that all these years instead of fix it?
We don't care.
Then we wouldn't have a story to tell.
Uh-oh. And then what about the Molotov cocktail?
That was
And make sure you...
It's in that window.
Which window? That one?
up
Where
there,
they sleep right there.
and then it came down here.
All this
So you're
getting
saying because
fired.
of the screen, it bounced
Right.
out.
So there it's hard to see because it's at night, but there we can kind of see that. And then the thing fell down here and then blew up over here.
Right.
And it did not cause a fire, obviously, though.
No,
No,
it
the
did.
blue-
We had the site. All of that was replaced.
You're kidding, really? This whole thing was
Yeah.
replaced.
What, but with the fire, everything burning here.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so let's go in and we'll wrap this up. And I think you guys have given us an amazing story. Oh my God, I'm in shock.
Yeah.
I'm in absolute shock. So let's just quickly grab a seat again and we will say our goodbyes. Just please make sure. Let me sit down and set up the camera first and then everyone come in so Sylvia, you're not shown. Well, are there any last questions? I think we covered pretty much the whole story. Is there anything else that I missed that you guys?
Do you guys remember the car house getting firebombed?
Uh,
Do you remember the car house getting bombed the same way your house got?
no.
The cars across the street.
Okay, so do you remember the car's dog getting shot the same way
I
your
don't
dog?
understand what you're
No.
saying. Excuse me.
No.
So when that happened to the cars,
Hold on, you said you don't understand?
I understand right now what he's saying.
Okay, the Carr family, the ones who live on Warburton with
Yeah,
the two
the one with
sons,
the- yeah.
right? Did you ever hear of their dog getting shot and their house getting firebombed?
No.
Because the same thing happened to them.
but how couldn't they have hurt?
No.
Well, you guys didn't have a relationship with the Carrs.
No.
Yeah, but
No.
you didn't see the house went on fire. Police trucks were called over there for the firebombing.
I could believe that they wouldn't see it because the woods in between. It's not as close as you think, even though it's across the street.
Yeah, it's big. You would think since it happened to them,
But
they
they
would catch them
don't, we don't know
They didn't?
about them, the bombers thing. I never.
You never heard of that, right? I wonder whether it actually happened.
So now you get two of these instances exactly the same pattern happening in the same area, and there's no
Pushed
push
through by the
to
Yonkers
get
police.
to get what's going on in this. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense that the cops wouldn't have followed through, especially since this was happening to you guys and supposedly happening to the Carr family, the same exact things. Fire
That about
bombs.
happened to Carr family. I don't think that happened. We know are here because otherwise we're gonna know. Even it's right there. We got to know.
That's weird.
It's very possible.
Unless we were on vacation
Did
or
you
something.
ever hear of that happen?
No.
No.
So you never knew that the Carr family house
No,
got fired
never.
bomb like yours,
No.
and their dog was shot like yours.
No. we
Here's
never
something.
The cops never came over and said, "Hey, we got another
Right,
pattern
right,
over
and
here."
then compare with what happened to us.
Yeah,
Here's a third possibility. It didn't happen to the Cars, and they just lied.
exactly, because it happened here, and they're just going to say, "Hey, why don't
It
we-"
happened over there too, right?
Right.
It could have,
Yeah.
right? It's always a possibility,
That
especially
don't
with
think
the
happen.
Cars.
Sorry, I said today. It's impossible. Too near that house, and the problem we go through, everybody go through, and happen to them something like that, and we don't know.
Right, because the shot that supposedly shot their dog came from the
Right.
aqueduct, and you would have heard it, and you would have.
They probably scared the
They would have scared the crap out of you guys.
Right? And then you're gonna see the other day in the paper. And my husband is all the time in everything. How
So-
bad it can be?
So we may have just proved
that it wasn't reported.
that
That they-
either it never happened to the Cars, or somehow or other you guys just didn't hear about it, which seems very unlikely.
We were always
don't believe
looking
it.
at the news.
Yeah.
Yeah. And something similar like that happened to someone
Right.
right across
You
the street.
figure that the first thing you would do was go to the,
Yeah.
over there and compare notes.
Especially the
and say,
cop.
How about
They
like,
have to
yes,
be in
he's doing
back
it over
over
there.
there.
You know,
Right.
So there was a Molotov cocktail.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
supposedly
I
thrown
killed the dog too.
into and they shot the dog too.
Yeah.
Here.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
You know, Wheat Carr, the sister, blames Berkowitz for the whole entire.
And even further, dovetailing with your guys' experience, they also received tons of letters too. But that's true, unless those letters are just faked. But we've seen printouts of those
Yeah.
letters. So the same thing happened to you guys as happened to the Cars, maybe happened to the Cars, but we know it happened to you guys. I don't know. It's just another one of these mysteries. I mean, do you have any thoughts on the Son of Sam, like in terms of cult activity, or that he worked? Do you believe that you guys don't believe he was alone?
He knows alone.
No.
Even in the shootings, do you have any opinions of
About the children, I'm gonna say because
I don't know.
you don't
I don't
know, right?
But he knows alone, no.
Here,
Because
here, no.
If it's true that he was involved, it didn't seem, like I said, the main incident that I found was there's no way that a car would be left
Idling.
in this area. I
Right.
mean, now it's actually much better, but there was no way.
Right.
And I would have heard when I came out, because I came right out. Unfortunately, my attention went to my dog. I would have heard a car start.
Right.
Yeah.
I would be curious to see though if I guess it was your brother who chased them?
Brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
He's passed away.
If well, I guess it would have been interesting to find out, like, did the guy who was running to the car get into the passenger side or the driver's side? Because that would go a long way towards answering it. But it does seem just on the face of it that somebody was waiting for him. For
To
him
get
to
out.
run to, for
I
him to
think
just get out of
like
here.
that, was like that. Because he went back of them with a gun.
Right.
And they see what happened.
Right.
They
They
ran.
waited
It was
to
so
go.
fast.
Right. All right. Are there any final questions that we have? Any final things that we might have missed that you feel is important to add to the story?
Important the story, I don't want this to be something like they come and do something to me too.
That's not gonna happen.
Well,
Did you guys ever run into anybody that knew anything during these years? Nothing.
the news, no.
Nobody ever came up to you maybe in the 80s or the 90s and was like, I knew this or knew that, or
Even talking about Berkowitz and his friends.
Nothing, huh?
No.
So you guys were just left in the blank. You got caught. It stopped.
And
And,
when
and,
we
and
hear-
it stopped.
It
right?
stopped.
It stopped.
So okay. So
Right.
that's clear.
That
He
does
was-
say something.
Yeah.
That he probably was involved, or whoever was running this and was involved with him decided
you
to
got
stop
him relentlessly bothering him. Then you got activity, the Son of Sam activity going on, and they're saying that it slowed down.
It slowed
wasn't
down.
so much attention on him during the Son of Sam.
Right.
And then you got him getting caught, and it stops.
Right.
it. Right. So, on the face of it, it sounds like Berkowitz was involved in whatever was happening here in this house.
Yeah.
Whether it was him alone, we'll never know. Well, maybe we will know if we ever get up to
They asked and
Berkowitz.
yelled to him. I hear that. What happened with that family here? Why you do that? He said, because I hear boys to do something. And the yellow one
The
is
dog.
He
Yeah.
heard a voice
Same
and it was
things
your
he says
dog.
about Carr.
Same thing he said about Carr. Exactly. There's a lot of things I'm thinking about right now. It's like almost as if they were setting up two different houses here to potentially be the cover story, the Carr house and this house, because the exact same things happened.
Yeah, exact same things happen.
Yeah.
But what happened to those people right there with the problem we have here, and we don't gonna know nothing about that? Where everybody around here is scared about.
Oh, right. Right.
I don't understand that.
I don't understand it either. Why you didn't hear about that happening
Yeah.
over there? That's very strange,
Yeah.
especially in Yonkers.
But
where
was it
everybody
in the
talk-
news?
You're talking months apart too. You're not talking. I mean,
No.
yeah, no, you're
You're talking just weeks
less
or
than
months.
a year. Both of your houses
Yeah.
got firebombed and dog shot.
Right.
How
And
the
letters.
cops, how the cops didn't come here after their house was firebombed and their dog was killed, just like yours, to just come and see. Did you guys see
See
anything?
what
'Cause it's not-
happened.
it just and for them not to know that.
And how
I
many
don't know.
times my husband go to the cops when this happen? How many times?
Right.
All the time that happen, he go there.
Well, yeah,
Please.
all the events that the cops
Yeah.
were here when my dog was shot. They were here.
And after Son of Sam was arrested, there was no follow up. The cops didn't
No.
come here
No,
and tell
nothing
you.
else. Nothing.
Unbelievable.
No, only like I'm like repeating myself. Only Zigo. One cop came.
Right, Zigo from NYPD, not even
Still alive,
Yonkers.
that guy?
I don't think so. All right, well, listen, you guys have been very generous with your time. We truly appreciate it. This is actual history. Whether
Whatever they
you
say is the truth.
right.
Whatever my daughter says is the truth.
I believe it. It sounds very believable. This was amazing history that the audience is gonna absolutely love to hear. I mean, gee, when I woke up today, I didn't think I was gonna be speaking to the Neto family. So this is huge. I mean, you guys are big in the Son of Sam world, whether you know it or not. But yeah, your story is famous, and now we've gotten a little bit more flavor and color of that. So Sylvia, Maria, I want to say thank you so much. And next thing we have to do is find those letters.
Okay.
All right, guys. So thank you so much. We're gonna
The
turn.
letters, what you say, the letter he do to us,
Yeah,
Those were burned.
those were burned.
doesn't burn. But we haven't sold the papers
the
when
papers, the news.
Yes.
that-
The newspapers where the
Yeah.
incidents were.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe we can follow
Yeah.
up in a
I'm
couple
sure you got
weeks.
stuff, a bunch of memorabilia in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, right over all that.
Put it in the box, it's yellow already.
That would be
And
nice.
even I don't want to see, even the book is here. I don't want to even look at the book.
Which book?
The book of Son of
Ultimate
Sam.
Evil.
Oh, you have an Ultimate Evil?
Yeah, it's there.
You know, it's very valuable if you have an old copy of it.
We have two.
I want to see them. All right, guys, I'm going to shut this down.
Sure.
So thank you so much, and we will see you
Bye-bye.
guys at the next video. Bye-bye.